I'm not gonna go back over that part. Thank you. So I believe, especially in this market, reading the comments, learning, seeing how aggressive this market is, that we need to make sure that we position ourselves as licensees to first of all go for the lowest hanging fruit. The lowest hanging fruit is always the people that you know, the people that know you, the people that like you, that trust you and believe you. The high fruit is those people that have never heard of you. So when you do all the marketing and you're going on the internet, you're trying to market yourself, these people don't know you from a can of paint. They don't know you. And your ad from another person's ad, you may get somebody, and then you have to warm up to that person. You have to then make that person a hot lead and get pre-approved and all. It's a lot of work. It's a whole lot of work. It's doable. We heard somebody, D just was sharing with us that one of her former friends who's a top agent was out at a bazaar passing out leaflets. Did I lose you guys? Because there's something went strange in my ear. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, that was Curtis. Okay. So they were out there passing out flyers and leaflets. The top agents never keep still. They never keep still. They're always somewhere doing something, taking the risk of trying to warm up new leads. They've exhausted their sphere of influence. They've exploited their sphere of influence. Some of you haven't. You're scared. I mean, I'm not gonna say you're scared, but you're scared to lose a friend. It's okay. You can lose. Listen, if I feel like that, if you lose them, they never was your friend. I'm going to call and harass everybody I know about this real estate thing. I'm going to talk to them about real estate every chance I get. Kermon and I were sitting there talking. I told Kermon, every trip that Jasmine and I take, we're going to go to a showing. We're going to meet a real estate agent. We're going to call a brokerage. We're going to establish a referral. We can be in Italy. Don't speak the language. Give me your card. I'll give you my card. It's a business trip. We are going to exploit everything that we possibly can in this market, including investing, including this. But the last thing that we haven't been talking about in working with buyers that I want us to shift our focus to is that we got to exploit listings. And the reason why we know that we need to exploit listings is because we've been trying to talk to you guys about writing an aggressive offer in COVID. You cannot ask for closing help. We've already told the lender, Michael Cooper, listen, I don't know what you're going to do. We need more miracles from you. Now, we know, I call Michael Cooper, you know, we believe in him. We call him the miracle working lender. He's closed 99% of the loans he's given us. They've been hard. Curtis, am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We crash landed a lot of them.
Yeah, but they landed.
We might have lost a little bit of the money. It might have bounced over there. We didn't get all of the money, but he closes them all. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're ugly. Some of them are ugly because they shouldn't have landed at all. So Michael Cooper is a crash lander. He goes. He would do it. I told him I said I'm Captain Kirk. I said, Scotty, we need warp engines, and we need them now. For those of you that don't know, that's a Star Trek reference. In other words, I told the engineer, you got to give me more power. My buyers cannot ask for closing help. I just got shot down yesterday. I told my buyers we got to go $20,000 over on this property. They only had a few other offers, maybe 3 or 4 other offers. I said we got to go at least $20,000 over asking price. And I said that we cannot ask for closing help. Oh, my buyers, they knew they never had, they know they owned a home. They never put in an offer. They want to trust me. They're scared. They're so scared to spend this money. How much is that, Mr. Porter? I told him straight up. I said, you're looking at about $40,000, $50,000 you're going to come out your pocket. They almost died. They just, listen, we're not doing this. I said, well, I want you to wrap your head around it. I want you to wrap your mind around $50,000 that you're going to have to come up with. That's your down payment and closing cost. If you want that size house, that's how much you need to come up with. And they want that size house. Can you guys still hear me? I just want to make sure you can still hear me. Okay. So they want, I see D's thumbs up. Thank you, D. They want that size house. I said, you got to put, that's what you're going to have to come out of your pocket. You're not going to get any closing help. I said, now, they are going to give some help towards your brokerage commission. Your brokerage commission in this particular a house is about 15,000. They're probably not going to give you 15. They're probably going to give 2.5, which is like 12,000. So maybe you might get down below 40 a little bit. Wrap your head around that. Wrap your mind around it. I had to keep saying this to them. You do not want to, you want to tell your buyer the absolute facts, okay? If then Michael Cooper can perform some more miracles and get them a down payment assistance program or a lender credit or something, that's neither here nor there. When you're writing that offer, you have to have their mind wrapped around what they're going to be looking at as settlement day. And I told them some of the ways we can mitigate that. We can do an initial deposit, earnest money, and then if they ratify us, we can throw in another deposit, okay? So I told them all of these things. They still came back and said, well, we don't want 3%, can we do 2%? I said, I don't think that's going to get it, but I'll write it. I'll write it for you. But I just want you to know it's not, in my professional opinion, a strong enough offer to get you ratified. So we wrote the offer. They did, and they were willing to take off the inspection because you can't even ask for inspection. They did as is with an inspection and a right to terminate, and that's all right. That means that the inspection doesn't really count for anything except for informational purposes to make sure the house is fine. So they did it as is, so they didn't really ask for any contingencies except for financing, okay? These people don't even want you to have an appraisal contingency on it. They want you to pay the difference if you make a high price offer. That game of, well, they got to bring it back down or it's going to be that price for the next 6 months, that's out the door. So even on your FHAs, and there's a provision, and I found out that the FHA, if you choose to, they'll let you pay the difference on FHA or conventional. That's what these people are demanding.
So Shay, that is a so like that listing that you read off earlier, with them basically saying that if it appraises for more, or if it doesn't appraise, that that difference. So that is something that you can actually do.
Your buyer can actually do it. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So here's what this is the other thing. So we did the 2%. We didn't do an appraisal contingency. We didn't do appraisal contingency. We did do a financing contingency because they have a loan. So you have to do that one. And I think that was pretty much it. The next day we got a response. Unfortunately, the seller has chosen another offer. Okay, what's the first thing I always do in that situation? I call my buyer back and say, hey guys, unfortunately they chose another offer. However, what I can do is ask them to consider us as a backup should the first offer not go through, because we offered 20,000 over. We asked for 2% back, so that really wasn't but 10,000 over, realistically. So whoever else made an offer, maybe they don't have more than 10,000 over. We don't know. We still don't know. But let's see if we can ask for a backup offer. They said, okay, let's make it back. I said, but I did warn you that we probably weren't going to get accepted in this market. And so you use that to further solidify your professional standing. Guys, if you want a house in this market, it's aggressive. It's going to cost you. You got to spend your money. You can't ask for closing help. You have to bring your A game, your A+ game in this monster market. Okay, so we sent back over to the sellers, and I said to them in an email, I said, would it be possible for your seller to consider our buyer's offer as a backup offer? And I received a response, and I'm going to read to you what they said to me this morning. Okay, it said, at this time, I do not think that my client is interested in having any official backup contract. I will confirm that with my client. The offer that the seller accepted was an exceptional offer, And the only contingency was financing. If for some reason this contract does not progress to settlement, I will call all buyers agents of the prospective buyers and see if they are still interested. Just as an FYI, there were a couple of offers that were even stronger than your buyers.
Not the FYI.
Okay.
You weren't even second running.
This is aggressive monster market, guys.
Wow.
Okay, so I just want us to be very, very mindful of the level of commitment your buyers need to have now. We're going to do everything we can. Again, our job is to always represent our buyers' best interest. But their best interest, you have to then sell them on what their best interest is. Their best interest is to come with all the money. Their best interest is to call their family and friends now and get gift letters. Their best interest is to work, get a job at Home Depot and Lowe's or somewhere and save some extra money, maybe sell your car. I don't know what you got to do, but if you want this house, you need to put some money away. You might need to go to juice and crackers for meals and what have you. But you got to come up with the money to get into your house. Okay? So those are the type of things I want us to be mindful of when we're writing contracts. And Jasmine wanted to continue with the contract writing aspect, but Jasmine, I think that the people that I'm looking at on the Zoom, I think they're all right with contracts. I don't know. I see a different. Who's the? I see somebody on here, but maybe we're going to spend some time with the new agents. We'll go over contracts. We'll go over writing offers in this aggressive market and how you have to do it, because we really got to shift our mindset. What we were doing 6 months ago is dead. It's gone. Let's have a funeral. Amen. It's over. Okay. We have to live in the real. Who's the? I see somebody. 301.
No, that's just me.
Okay.
That's just me on the phone.
Okay. Can you mute it, because I'm getting feedback? Mute your phone for me, please, D. Okay. So in the real world, in the world that we're in now, in this COVID market and in this new market that we're in, for the foreseeable future, I want us to be in that mindset with writing offers. That being said, guys, again, low-hanging fruit. Every person who is a homeowner now, keep in mind there's two different kinds of things that I'm looking at right here. One, there's a homeowner who may not be aware. So we have to raise awareness. We're doing an awareness to get people out to vote. We're getting an awareness of the political aspects, Black Lives Matter. But there's another awareness that people need to have, is that this market exists for those people who may have been waiting to buy their homes. To sell their homes. To sell their homes. So we have to get, now this is off the working with buyers script. I'm talking about going after the low-hanging fruit. You have to go after some listings, guys. You have to go after the listings. You need to raise awareness of what's happening, because people have so much that they're paying attention to on the television and everything else that they're not even aware that this monster market exists. Some real estate agents and other companies, they don't get the kind of training you guys get. They're not aware. They're not aware that this monster market exists. They're on their heels. I'm trying to get you on your toes so we can fight. But in the meantime, while we're fighting, let's get over in the driver's seat, which is the seller's market. We need to be listing properties. We need to be listing properties for people who may have been upside down and may have had to do a short sale, because we have at least 2 or 3 listings that were short sales only 4 or 5 months ago. Fortunately for the sellers, they wanted to wait until list them. And now we're calling those people back and saying, hey, we got good news for you. This COVID market has flipped the script. We think we can get you a profit on your home. or at least go to the table and not have to bring any money. They're ecstatic. That's the type of market that we're in right now. So we have to do a couple of things. Raise awareness for those people who don't know that this market exists. Kermon and Matthew have been out door knocking. These are the things you need to be saying, Kermon, when you go out door knocking. You need to be letting people know, hey, guys, I'm just here to let you know that there's a brand new market that the COVID-19 has created. It has created a market where sellers are getting $20,000 over what their property should be marketed for and more. That might change a person's life who's been sitting at home wondering how they were going to get from being upside down in their house. And they're fine. I mean, they're not behind any payments or anything. They just know that their house value was not enough for what they owed on it when they first got their mortgage years ago. But they still been making payments. They just don't know how they're going to get from under it. Now is the time to say, I know how you can do it. Sell now. It's the market. The market is right. This is the time to sell. Then there are people who are distressed right now. We're going to be doing another little training. So we're going to have to pull back on working with buyers, guys, because I think we beat this horse. It's dead. We got to get up off it and get on a new one. We know what to do with the working with buyers. We know to be aggressive, no closing costs, few contingencies, bring your money. That's the best that we can do about it. Now we got to get in the listing seat and ride that horse. We need to be bringing a ton of listings into the brokerage because the money is going to come for you guys so quickly because you're not going to have to list a house for very long in order. You're going to have the hardest part of your job is going to be figuring out where your buyer is moving to. I mean, your seller, I keep saying buyer, where your seller is going to be moving to because you're going to be able to sell their home in an instant. That's how aggressive the market is. We know it because we're working with buyers. These properties are getting 7, 20 different offers on them in very short period of time. So we need to get in that seat. That's the low-hanging fruit. That's the new low-hanging fruit. Okay, the low-hanging fruit was having a whole bunch of buyers and being able to try to slot them in where the sellers was looking. Now we need to get some listings. We need to create our own awareness. Porterhouse needs to create the awareness. You guys need to be out door knocking. I told D said when she moves towards people who are potential listings, they move away from. I said, chase them. You got to chase them down, D. They say, don't run from me. It get worse. And you can almost warn people, hey, guys, I know that you don't want to hear about selling your home, but if you don't listen to me, you're going to be at the end of the line, and you're going to wish you would have listened to me today. You need to tell people who don't know that the market exists to list and sell their home. If you listen to me now, you're going to benefit greatly. Once this thing is over, because everything comes to an end, it goes up and down in marketing. We call it a camel hump in real estate. We have markets, they go up and they come down. Everything that goes up comes down. Okay. Back in the day, we used to ask for 3% closing help with buyers, et cetera, et cetera. That's gone down. Now what's up? This listing market. So we need to let people know it's time to sell your house, especially if you're upside down or you owe money or you can't get from under. You gotta sell your house now. If you don't listen to me, you're gonna be remiss because this market is gonna end one day, maybe soon. We don't know how long this is gonna last, but right now it's extremely hot. It might end as soon as the cold weather hits. Get people to list their properties now. Knock on doors, leave your card, say you have to call me. I have some information about your house. You have to hear this. Go on Remind in your farming territories, whatever area you're farming for listings. If you haven't been, create a listing, an area to farm and go after listings. Talk to people who you see that are on there as distressed. RPR, if you have the RPR app, those of you that need to get your MLS, open up your RPR app, look in your farming territory, look at the distressed properties, and call those people. The numbers are there. Their emails are there. Put them on a campaign. Say your house can sell for this much, and just put a CMA on there. Don't even ask them if they want it. Type them a letter. Good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, potential seller. I was looking at, I work in this neighborhood. I was looking at your house in particular. Did you know your house right now could sell for XYZ amount? If you're interested or want more information, give me a call. I have attached a complimentary market analysis for you. It would be my pleasure to talk to you and give you more information about this. You need to start going after the low-hanging fruit. I'm not saying to stop anything that you're doing with the buyers. I'm saying to add something to your repertoire. Aggressively, you have to adjust to what the market shift is saying. The market has a voice. I just read to you what the voices of the market are saying. We want you to do this and that and anything else that makes the seller happy. And by the way, your little $20,000 over offer, it wasn't really that strong. This is what the market is saying. So I want to get over there in the seller seat, in the listing side seat, and I'm going to put my pedal to the metal. And you guys that don't have iPhones, you got to get iPhones so you can keep up, because I'm going to be speeding. I'm going to be doing light speed, D. I'm just picking with D. But you guys have to get your technology game together. You got to get out here. You got to do what the top agents, you said you saw a top agent out there passing out brochures and flyers at a open market or something. Put your mask on, put your gloves on, and pass out some flyers. You out there knocking on doors, knock on some more doors. You have to listen. Listen. I know you guys think that this is all came easy to the Porters. Jasmine and I are incredibly blessed, and we're very thankful for the blessing. But it has been a grueling, tedious commitment and a consistency and an accountability that we hold ourselves to and each other to every single day. It's relentless. And behind the scenes, you don't hear all the conversations that we have and the things that we have to discuss, not just for the brokerage, but just about the marketing, what the marketing is saying, what we need to be doing, how the market is changing. We're so in tune with everything that's going on is because we are always doing real estate. And some of you guys are doing real estate here and there. It's not going to work. You're not going to make it. I hate to tell you. You have to be all in. I know the part-time people, you got to be part-time, but you got to be all in part-time. Those full-time agents, you need to be busting the doors open at the office, social distance, do what you got to do. Get in there, get yourselves together, get your marketing materials, put stuff out and hit it. Go hit the market. Go over to the shopping centers and the Wegmans. Wherever you see a group of people that you don't, be there. Read your scripts before you go out so you have something to say. I don't know any salesperson that's successful that doesn't have a sales pitch. What's yours? We got $1 million scripts in BrokerMint. You just need to memorize a few of them. And then when people say something, you have something to say back. Isn't that right, Kermon? You always got to have something to say back.
Absolutely.
I was telling Kermon yesterday, and then I'm going to be quiet because I don't know what Jasmine knows. She's going to kick my butt. I went on way over time. I'm sorry, Jasmine. But anyway, that's okay. I get my butt kicked all the time. It's fine. I'm used to it. But I was telling Kermon the other day, one of the ways that strategically I've been getting some insight from the seller as to um, writing offers that's winning. And I'm gonna share this piece today. This is my little nugget for today. So guys, one of the things that I've been doing, and I used to only do this actually when I thought that my buyers, what they wanted me to offer was so outrageously low that I just didn't want to write the offer and waste my time putting a lot of time into writing an offer that I knew wasn't going to win. So what I would do back in the day was call the listing agent and say, hey, my buyer is considering putting in an offer on your property. I see you got it listed at 270. I want to know if it's even worth me writing an offer for 265. This was back in the day. You can't do that now. And if they said I would submit it, then I'll go ahead and write the offer, because that was telling me that they probably didn't have anything better. If they said no, then I would say, well, do you have a suggestion on how much more I probably need to ask my buyer to write in order to get a winning offer? And they probably wouldn't tell me, but some people, they don't know no better. They'll tell you, well, I got one for 274. They just say it. They're not supposed to tell you. That's confidential. But some people would tell you, and some people say, no, I would go a lot higher. Okay, a lot doesn't tell me anything, but it was a little bit more information. Well, in this market, if you're working with buyers, I'm going back to buyers just for a second. This is my working with buyers tip, because I'm really on my listing tip today, even though this is working with buyers seminar. I understand. But so I go now what I'm doing in this COVID market, I'm doing the same thing. I'm calling the listing agent before I write the offer and say, hey, I see you got the property listed at 450. My clients want to know, before I write this offer, my clients are willing to go 475, but they need 2% closing help. Is it worth me writing an offer with the offers that you have in hand currently? That I would write that offer, Mr. Porter. Thank you. That's all I needed to know. They just told me that currently in hand, they don't have anything stronger than that. That's my tip. Call them. If you start writing because your client get excited, you're doing yourself a disservice. Call them. Okay. If they say no, I wouldn't write that, then your follow-up question to them is, wow, so you have an offer that's higher than 475 with 2% closing? What if we took the 2% closing off? Should I write it then? Well, Mr. Porter, they 475 and they don't want any closing help. Are they willing to pay the difference if it doesn't appraise? Well, if they're not, should I write the offer? If they're not, you shouldn't write the offer. Now I know I need to go 475 with no closing help, or even take my offer up to 480 with whatever closing help they might need, but still they're gonna have to pay the difference in the 450. They're gonna bring another 30 to the table. So this is where we are with the buyer's market, guys. It is extremely hard. You guys have to go for the low-hanging fruit in your business always, because you eat better, you eat quicker when you get the low-hanging fruit, okay? The high-hanging fruit might be prettier, it might be shinier, it's closer to the sun, but I want you to get some fruit in your basket, okay? You guys have to start making a lot of money in real estate. There's a lot of money in real estate to be made, but you really have to be aggressive, and you have to watch the market shifts. Okay, you have to go after what the market is telling you to go after. Jasmine and I will keep saying that over and over again. The market has a voice. Pay attention to the voice of the market. You cannot pay all the attention to the voice of your clients. Your clients need to be paying attention to your voice, because you are reading the market. And a lot of our clients, a lot of us have a fear of our clients. The purpose of the buyer's consultation is to put your clients on point as to, this is the way I conduct business. That's the point of it. It's for you to get them mapped out. No, we're not doing anything the way you want to do it. I know you see stuff on Home and Garden TV and on TV, and you think this is the way it works, but this is the way it really works. And you lay it out for them. And you're going to have to come to the table with a lot of money. and you got to pay your $7.95 up front. You got to pay your brokerage fee, and you got to do these things. And you got to bring all this money to the table. Otherwise, I don't know what you really came to me for. You have to lay it out. I know you guys want clients. And, well, I got my first client and they pre-approved for $180,000 and I don't want to lose them, so I don't want to. You know what? You're going to lose them either way, because if you don't close the deal, what difference do it make? You just wasted a lot of time, energy, and money on something that you didn't manage right from the beginning. You got to tell people the truth. Tell people the truth. Tell them what's going on. Tell them the type of things they're going to be dealing with in this kind of market, what the expectations have to be, what the demand. They don't have time to look on Saturday if a property pops up today. It's not going to, today is Wednesday. That property's not going to be available by Saturday. It's just not going to be there. You got to go today, which means you guys have to have gas in your car. You got to be the new Uber. You got to be ready to go wherever they call you and say, hey, Miss Porter, property just popped up. So Jasmine and I are sending you guys leads, hint, hint, hint. Whenever we go on WhatsApp and we say, can you do a showing? Listen, we're offering anybody who just shows the property $75 towards at closing time. You show a person a property, they write an offer on that property, they give the property, you're going to get at least $75 just for that showing. And if you keep showing our client and we give them to you to show, we're going to pay you up to 25% of the total transaction. So when we sending out those notices and we don't get responses right away, whoever calls first, that's the person that gets the lead. I gave 2 $500,000 clients away this week. So you guys have to see these opportunities and take advantage of them. If you don't have the time to take a client to show a property, then, hey, you must be doing extremely well. You must be doing extremely well. So we want you all to listen. You got to shake yourself off. And this is for the people that's on this Zoom. I always say, and Curtis took advantage of this when I told him, for every trainer, those that show, they will know. And those who don't, they won't. Now, the fortunate thing, Curtis, for everybody nowadays is that we record it. So they can still watch the video. They can watch the video, but you have to make yourself, you have to avail yourself, guys, to the opportunities if you're going to make money. Okay? Every time you have an opportunity to interact with a client, whether it be a listing or a buyer, Caramon, every time you knock on a door, you looking at the price, you're knocking on $12,000, you're knocking on $9,000, you're knocking on $10,000. I'm not saying to put to people are money. You never put the money before people, but you gotta say to yourself, is it worth me getting rejected? Am I willing to overcome my fear of being rejected for the opportunity of $12,000 behind this door? I'm gonna knock on the door, man. D, they running from you, baby. $12,000 running from me. I'm gonna chase it. I'm just over it. I'm over my fears. We have to go out. Listen, this is 8,500. I'll chase it. 75. I would chase 5,000. Man, I might chase a quarter down the street because I don't despise anything. Anything that the Lord gives me is for me. I receive it. You guys have to listen. I'm screaming. I'm excited because I want you all to make so much money in this real estate business. I didn't think it existed until I counted Jasmine's money one day, and I was blown away. I'm not gonna tell. I told this story before. I snuck down in the middle of the night. I was making 6-figure salary. I was doing extremely well. I loved my job. There was nothing nobody could do to get me away from it. I enjoyed what I did. I enjoyed my job. And I went down one middle of the night, because I don't sleep that much. But I went down and I saw settlements, and I didn't know what a settlement was. I kind of knew, but I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it looked like for a real estate agent. I didn't even know how real estate agents really made money. I didn't understand the concept. I thought they worked for free. And so people think we work for free, guys. They think the real estate company pays you. That's what they think. You got to teach them. That ain't how it work, homie. Okay? I went down there and I said, I laid them checks out because she had 5 settlements. in 1 month. But this wasn't that she just had 5 settlements. She had been building and building and building and building the pipeline, and finally they started popping. And Curtis, you've experienced it. I know I've experienced it. When they start popping, they just keep popping. Right, Curtis?
Absolutely.
You gotta gather that money. You better put some money away for taxes. You better put some money away
Yeah.
for your bills, because it's gonna stop popping after a while. You gotta get it popping again. That's how the market works. I'm just being honest with you guys. Okay, so Jasmine was popping, and I went down there and I started counting them checks, and I did the calculations on the calculator 3 or 4 times. I went and woke her up in the middle of the night. I said, "Excuse me, is this legal? You make this? Is this legal? You can make this much money off of 1 settlement?" I had an epiphany. That was at Christmas. January, I signed up for real estate class. I signed up. I fired my boss in July. That same year. I said goodbye to my career that I had 2 master's degrees in. 20 years of dedication to. And I was good at it. And I'm not just tooting my own horn. I'm telling you, I walked away wholesale because I believed. I was a believer. I believed in Jasmine Porter. Not because I was married to her, because I saw the fruit. And I saw a vision. And you guys were in the vision. And we're here now. And I just kept walking towards the vision. I walked away. I just walked. They said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Whatever the Lord tells me to do, and whatever Jasmine Porter tells me to do." And that's what I did, guys. If you listen to Jasmine, you listen to what I'm saying is everything that she's poured into me. And when she talks to you guys, listen, the videos and everything, those are all her brainchild. If you're not watching the videos on your own, if you're not going into the library and just getting stuff on your own, you're not working on your business, you're doing yourself a disservice. She's not going to be able to answer every single question. We're getting a lot more people. We knew this day was coming. We're growing to 100 agents. We're getting closer and closer. It's going to be a little bit different. We're going to need you guys who've been around for a little bit to start building and becoming lead generators, and then passing those leads out, building your teams and things of that nature, and training people for what you already kind of know. And the money will come. Trust me, if you take care of the people, because real estate is all about relations. It's all about relationships, and you got to build relationships. So, Caramon, when you knock on that door, call that person. Reach out to that person. Go back to the people that talk to you. Go back and visit them again. Become his new friend. You got to build that relationship. Don't think it's a one and done proposition. We've built relationships with people, and to the point where we've been in their house birthday parties and everything, prayed for them. They didn't give us a lead yet. Then one day they say, "You know what, I'm ready to buy." Or, "You know what, my sister wants to sell," or "My grandmother, my auntie," and that's how it pops. So yes, I'm a little amped today. I'm a little excited today. I want you all to experience and taste the fruit of victory. I got some questions. Hold on. Somebody got a question. Who got a question? Somebody got to get on. Go D, go. If you got a client, we love you. Go get the client. Take care of your people. We got you. Who else? There you go. Okay, good. All right. So listen, guys, I'm not going to even be on here but for another 2 minutes, and then I'm going to stop. I don't know, Jasmine, I don't know what you want to do, honey, but I'm going to stop. I want you guys to really today, I want you to put on your thinking caps, okay? I want you to absorb what I'm saying, okay? And I want you to start to say, okay, this is what I need to do. Let me go do my homework, some research on going after prospective listings, going after distressed properties. I want us to be aggressively going after listings and aggressively going after distressed properties. I want to see you going to BrokerMint and putting listing after listing after listing after listing on the market. And then we're going to put some of them crazy comments, and anything else our seller wants, we want you to give it to them. And we sit back and then reap the benefits of this market. because it's not going to take long for you to sell a house. That's all I wanted to say. I'm going to digress because I think Jasmine, I don't know, I think she had something she wanted to say about an hour ago. Jasmine, I'm sorry. I know you're going to kick my butt, but it's all right. It was worth it. I love you guys.
No worries.
I'm quiet. I'm quiet now. I'm going to close my mouth. But listen, guys, be aggressive.
I think that we would all agree that you shouldn't be quiet. We love when you get on the box and you tell everybody everything that we need to hear. So that's great. Everything that you said has been very helpful, and we hope and pray to see the fruit from it in everybody's lives. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. So I am not going to keep us overtime. We're going to go ahead and shut down at noon, and we'll pick up tomorrow on Porterhouse Realty Talk. And we will be talking about going after these listings. I want to wrap up the contract, but I want to make sure that it's done to the appropriate audience, and everybody that we have on the line here today, you guys are familiar with it. Like Shay said, we're going to be switching gears on the working with buyers on Wednesdays. We're going to be switching to going after listings. So our Wednesdays, we're going to be switching, as well as nurturing the new buyers, because we have some new buyer training that needs to be had in a larger platform. So we're going to be dealing with both of those things. So stay tuned, because even on our Porterhouse Realty Talks, we're going to be talking about things that, Curtis, you can help us to even teach. So going after your distressed sales, your short sales, everything that's current in the market right now in this COVID climate, and all of the other sources for listings. Just like Mr. Porter said, this is an extremely hot market. It is a very exciting time. It's a time that's very similar to what we saw years ago, and we're very excited to be in the midst of this market. So we want to make sure that we exploit it and take advantage of every opportunity to help our clients and to benefit as well from the market. So for all of your buyers, we've been talking for weeks now about how to get their offers accepted in this COVID climate. We're going to continue to be aggressive in representing our buyers. But now we're going to aggressively start going after the listings as well, because although the inventory has been low, someone's TV is in the background giving me some feedback there. Kermon, I think that's yours.
No, no, it's just me. Mine's not on.
Okay, gotcha. So until tomorrow, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Do some prospecting. Go and be aggressive with your sphere of influence. Be aggressive, call, text, email, go and meet people. But there's so much business that's out here in the midst of this market, and we need to all take advantage of it aggressively.
Hey, Jasmine.
Right? So you can sit up in the cafes that are open. Yes, Kurt, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a quick question. Looking at working with a new client, they are currently, or they were, I guess, signed up with another realtor. How do they get out of that contract? Do we have like a form or like a letter we can give them to give to their agent? How does that?
So that's a very good question, and I'm glad you asked that on recording. So if anybody else needs that information, when a client has an active agency relationship with another agent, you can't touch it. They have to voluntarily, on their own, terminate the agreement without your assistance. And it has to be based on the terms of their agreement. So you know how in our agreements, we do mutual agreement in writing? It might say mutual agreement in writing signed by both parties. It may not say anything. It could simply be an email, but it has to be something that the buyer or seller does on their own without your influence, in a sense. If they're unhappy, let them know that they have to terminate the agreement. But we don't want to interfere until they terminate the agreement and they come back to you and say, hey, I no longer have that representation.
Okay, so just let them know.
Right? And they have to send that to you in writing.
Okay.
And excuse me, Ms. Porter, if I can just piggyback on that, my question is, so if their agreement has expired, is there any way that we can find out when the agreement expires so we can be the first one to maybe call them and say, I see you had an agreement with another agent. Your house did not sell. I would love to be able to maybe, speak with you. We have some, and whatever we want to say as far as we have some programs that we think may be beneficial to get your house sold. How do we find out when that agreement is up?
So that's a really good question as well, and I'm glad you asked. Those are called expired listings, and you find that information from right online in your Bright MLS. Each one of the listings that we input into the system has to have an active and an expiration date. So when they expired, they fall into the expired status. Just like you have your coming soon, active, closed, withdrawn, so forth and so on, you also have expired. So we'll be going over how you set up the auto email so that you can start receiving those expired listings in your farm area. So that's going to be to come on our future Thursday Porterhouse Realty Talks. We're really about to shift gears, and you guys are going to have all of that information afresh. For those of you that have heard it before, and for those of you who haven't, you'll have it anew. But stay tuned. All right.
Come on,
so you guys go out and be aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Kirk.
No, Kermit, it's just like when you set up a search, and you look for the searching fields, you'll see expired as one of the things you can click on. And so then it's going to pick out, then you'll have to just set the date. Do you want it to be expired 1 day from the day, a month from today, and then it'll just pull, just like when you search for, a home for a potential buyer, it just then starts to pull the expired listings within that zip code, that city, just like you're setting up a regular, search to find a home, you're just searching now to find expireds.
Okay.
So you just got to play around with it.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
One more thing I was going to say on that, Kermon and Curtis and everybody else who's on the call, is that we're going to be, and I'm going to talk to the broker, so don't start doing it yet, but we're going to make sure that we put some terms and conditions in place where we can offer a person who lists with us a guarantee. We'll sell your house in 45 days. Terms and conditions apply, of course. We put that in. We'll sell your house in 45 days or give you $1,000 or we'll buy it. Then there's a way to do that. I don't want you to start doing that until we teach you how to do it. Okay? But there's a way to do it. We're going to teach you how to do it. All right? So we're going to be extremely aggressive. Okay? Expired listings, we see that your property didn't sell. It's not the market, it's the marketing. We can guarantee that we'll sell your house for the agreed upon price in X amount of time, or we'll buy it, or we'll give you $1,000, or and give you $1,000. So it's a way to do it. We're gonna teach you how to do it. We did it before, and now it's time to do it again, guys.
And that language, just to add on to that, is $1,000 at settlement. So that's going to be a part of the terms and conditions, because the client would need to remain listed with you and close with you in order to receive that incentive.
So the terms and conditions will stipulate how the program works. Does that make sense, guys? So it's a program. It's not. It's a program that we're going to be doing at Porterhouse. So we're going to roll that out. We're going to train you on it, and then we're going to give you the language, and then we're going to start the campaigns, and it's going to happen rather quickly. So we want to have this done like real quick. So we're going to work on that. We're going to roll that out to you hopefully next week when we start Realty Talks and all that. We'll have it rolled out. The stuff to be uploaded in the library, the scripts, the official listing information. Okay, and make sure, listen, wherever and whatever you advertise, please make sure that you're following the guidelines that we have established. You have to list the brokerage's name. You have to have a logo on there, the address, the telephone number of the broker, okay, on your listing. And you cannot do anything that violates any of the protected classes. You can't say anything crazy in your ads or anything like that, okay? That's wherever you advertise. I don't care if you're doing it on the internet, on a system separate from us. You have to follow the guidelines. They're watching, they're coming after people. So make sure that you have your stuff together, because we're going to be marketing. You're going to be marketing to the public. Stuff has to be 100% right. That's what we believe in. That's what we've always preached. at Porterhouse, and some people have. We found out that some people may have been trying to take little risks. We don't play that. We don't participate in that. So guys, we'll separate from you. Whatever we have to do, make sure you follow the guidelines. All right.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to be going forward with this aggressive, but I want you guys to start reading scripts, going in the Brooklyn Library, looking at videos, seeing, just memorize some scripts. You cannot do it without memorizing some of the scripts. You have to have material to talk about when you're talking to people. Otherwise, you're floundering. Okay, build your confidence up and go talk to people. Make your mistakes talking to people too. Okay, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. All right, go out there, guys. Let's make some decisions to get out there and to be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
You guys go and be aggressive. Like Mr. Porter said, have a great rest of the day, and we will check in with you tomorrow on Porterhouse Realty Talk. Have a great day, guys.
Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
You're
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.